Imagine waking up one morning and instantly feeling that something around you is not right. The silence feels strange, almost like the world itself has suddenly stopped breathing. You step outside and notice there are no sounds, no movement, nothing at all around you. The streets are completely empty, as if everyone just vanished without leaving any trace behind. At first, it almost feels peaceful, like all the noise and pressure of life suddenly disappeared. You walk further into the city, expecting to find someone, but there is still absolutely no one. The cars are still there, the lights are still on, but there is no sign of human life anywhere. You begin to realize this is not just your street or your city, it feels like the entire world is empty. The silence becomes heavier, almost pressing against you as you try to understand what happened. You check places where people should be, but every location tells the same empty story. You enter a store and see everything untouched, as if time itself suddenly stopped moving. Food is still on the shelves, lights are still working, but there is no one left to use them. You walk through different buildings, hoping to find at least one sign of life somewhere. But every place you check gives you the same answer: complete and total emptiness. As time passes, the peaceful feeling slowly begins to fade into something else. You begin to feel the weight of being completely alone in a world that used to be full of life.
The silence is no longer calming, it starts to feel heavy and uncomfortable.
You notice that small systems around you are starting to fail one by one.
The electricity becomes unstable, and parts of the city begin to go dark.
You realize that without people, nothing is being maintained or controlled anymore. Water systems begin to fail, and simple things like running water slowly disappear. Food supplies start running low as there is no one left to restock or produce anything. The city becomes quieter than ever before, almost unnaturally silent. The silence begins to feel like something you can actually hear around you. You start to understand how much humans were keeping everything alive. Without them, everything slowly begins to break down, piece by piece. Days turn into weeks, and nature begins to take its place again. Grass starts growing through the roads, and buildings are slowly being covered. The world is changing, and there is nothing left to stop it anymore. You realize the world does not need humans to continue existing.
But without people, the world feels empty in a way that cannot be explained.
The silence becomes overwhelming, something your mind struggles to handle. You start to feel that being alone is not peaceful anymore, but something much heavier. Every place you go reminds you that something is missing from this world. The absence of people changes how everything feels, even the air around you. You begin to understand that humans were not just part of the world, but what gave it meaning. Without them, everything continues, but nothing feels alive anymore. The world keeps moving, but it no longer feels like a place you belong. You are left alone in a world that was never meant to be empty. And the silence becomes something you can no longer ignore. In the end, the real question is not what happened to everyone else, but whether you could survive a world where you are completely alone forever.